Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about a vast majority of crypto. Mainly I want to put a spotlight out on finance, crypto in general, and really kind of talk about these markets here shortly. So, with that, the big question in the room is what's happening with crypto? Are we going to make new all-time highs? What's going to happen this year? What's going to happen next year? Do we have to wait for Bitcoin halving? What's going on? So I like to go against the herd, as you guys already know. In my opinion, I believe that this year has been so far pretty bullish. I know a lot of people will say like this year has not been bullish at all, but there was a lot of money to be made this year if you bought the dip going back to the summer of 2022 and even in December as well and November, the FTX situation. You made a lot of gains. I mean, there's a lot of altcoins that have done 5, 10x returns, and there was a lot of money to be made with those price swings. But right now, as we do look at the markets, with the last few volatile swings in this market, a lot of people most likely did lose some money as well, but also mainstream media put a lot of spotlight on that. Also, the regulatory problems. There's been a lot of fear around these markets. A lot of people have been staying away from crypto, and a lot of people do. Listen, there's only a certain percentage of individuals that come into this space during a bull or a bear market that actually stay. Most people still just continue to wait until FOMO hits and then they buy, meaning they wait for Bitcoin to make a new all-time high before they buy, which is the biggest problem with retail. That's why retail always loses money. That's always why retail tends to buy the top. And when I say retail, yes, we're technically retail investors as well, but the general public cannot see past the price action. You want to buy when things look horrible, when the market is just this slow trailing sideways market where all hope is lost, where it seems like this market is going to go to zero and it's dead, it's done, it's finished. That's when you want to buy. So as we do look at this market today, more so ever before, I am very bullish on crypto. I'm always going to be bullish on crypto, whether it be bull or bear market. And it's simply because I love the technology here. We are also here to make a ton of gains as well, and we will do so. We got to make sure that we also take profits and we reinvest those profits when the time is ripe, meaning you want to see those 90% plus swings within the market before you even start to average in. But as we look at the market right now, I've been looking at a few altcoins. XRP is one of them. XRP has been trailing sideways for the most part in an upward path. I'm still looking at XRP and seeing if we can get, 20, 30 cents on XRP. And I do have a lot of buy orders down there. I have started to average in on some of these altcoins, and I've bought in the dip as well, like going all the way back to the summer of 2022. I was buying here. I was buying all through the, October timeframe. Yes, I did buy a little bit high here around like 42, 43 cents or so. And then I also bought around December. And so far, it hasn't done too bad, but it hasn't done too well either. But I do think that the long-term path on XRP is very bullish. And then, of course, Casper, which you guys already know. Casper is my #1 holding in terms of the amount of money I have invested. Yes, I know what you guys are going to say. Nick, you have more money in Casper than XRP. And technically, yes, I do. And it's simply because I love what Casper's doing. And I think that this thing is going to generate me a ton of profits that I could ultimately disperse into other positions like XRP and up my bag even more off of profits. But also, Casper looks basically dead in the water. Most people will look at this chart and say, yeah, Casper's never bouncing back. It's dead. It's done. It's finished. But just like ADA, I think that this thing is going to do very well. And of course, HBAR, right? HBAR has been just trailing sideways as we continue to see massive developments. The network continues to grow. Most people still think that this thing is dead. And I think that that is when, I get so bullish on a lot of these assets. That's why I'm looking at HBAR and I'm like, man, this thing is set for incredible growth and also incredible adoption. And once this thing does break over that 10-cent zone, I think that we are going to start to see a growth point like we did back in 2021 when this thing did go to about 40 cents. It came back down to test some lows and then boom, it went up to about like 50 some cents. And then of course, Quant. there's so many other altcoins as well, but QNT, I'm looking at this one, and I already started to bite at around $97. I told everyone on Twitter, I told everyone in the Discord, I did buy QNT around $97, under $100. This thing is a flashing buy, in my opinion, for the long term. And again, I think that this one is going to perform pretty well. And I do have a lot of buys set up at around like the $70 to $80 zone as well on Quant. On HBAR, I have a lot of buys set up around like 3.5 cents in case we do go down to those levels. And I even do have levels back here to about like roughly 2.5 cents as well, if we see it. And Casper is basically around 3.5 cents as well. But I said over on Twitter, and this is for anybody out there playing with leverage. Listen, if you are not a proficient enough trader, like I barely touch leverage myself, because full transparency, I lost a lot of money leverage trading back in 2020. And I haven't really gone heavy into leverage trading ever since. I learned my lesson. Mainly, I love spot only. Spot only is where, you can make the most amount of money without all the high risk tied to it. Also, stop losses within this market are crucial on almost any investment that you're making if you are a short-term trader. I don't really trade all that often. When I do, I usually do just spot trades because it's just so much easier to manage, and it's not, extremely stressful like leverage trading. There's a lot of people out there that do make a ton of money leverage trading, but again, it's high risk and you don't really need to, bring that risk to the table. But we do see, from myself, there are people actually out here shorting this market right now. You can make so much more money just loading up on spot orders without the high risk. I'm extremely bullish on this market here / around this range. I am in heavy long-term positions and am prepared with stables too. Like I said, I do have a lot of buy orders set up. And when we actually look at this market, like there is some incredible discounts across the board right now. I know XRP doesn't look too discounted. I don't think it is all that much. But again, I think that XRP under $1, to me, it just, for the long term, this is a bag that I just don't care to sell anytime soon. I have my target set on some very high end areas, but I also think in the future we could possibly lend out our XRP and earn on it. Casper, I'm loading up heavy on Casper under 4 cents as always. This has always been my goal. HBAR, this thing is... a lot of these altcoins are so discounted. They're all still down 90% from their all-time highs almost. This is still down 89.6% from its all-time high. Quant from its all-time high down significantly as well. That's why I'm looking at this market. I'm like, why would you even try to leverage here? Why would you even try to risk anything by shorting this market? There's no point in shorting this market right now unless you think that we are going to go significantly lower to like 10K. But this market has been battered for the last roughly, I want to say year and a half. It's been rough. But also, we are starting to see a lot of news piling up. A lot of people are getting very bullish on this BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. I'm not too sure if this is going to amount to much, but if it does, then hey, this is going to be very bullish. We've been focused on these, Bitcoin ETFs for a while, these spot Bitcoin ETFs for a while, because they could provide a lot of value to the markets. And we do see, to understand better, BlackRock is a $10 trillion asset manager. Total crypto market cap right now, including Bitcoin and Ethereum and all, is about $1 trillion. BlackRock is coming for your discounted coins. Listen, BlackRock jumped into this market around the summer of 2022. Let it be known that the summer of 2022 did have incredible discounts across the board, and it was actually a time to enter into the markets, in my opinion, for a short-term setup. And that short-term setup was basically about 6 months later in January when we started to see the market really pick up. As we do look at right now, a lot of these factors are lagging factors, meaning this won't really amount to much until it does happen. And even then, it still might be months out. But I do think that this is very bullish to see this come to fruition if it does, because if we go all the way back to 2021, this was a big narrative that was getting pushed around this market, these ETFs. Canada was actually one of the biggest ones to have ETFs. This was around April of 2021. What do you see? 3 Canadian Ethereum ETFs launched last week. After 5 days of trading, they have about $190 million in assets under management, with CL Galaxy leading with $120 million. After a 38-day trading period, Purpose, Canada's first Bitcoin ETF, has about $1 billion in assets under management. And also over here, don't sleep on Canada's Bitcoin ETFs. This was May of 2021. Now, at that time, the market was starting to cool down. We started to have that summer of 2021 purge event, if you will, where the market basically collapsed. But then it bounced back in the fall time. Some altcoins made new all-time highs, some didn't. HBAR was actually one that, it did have a little bit of a spike up in September, but besides that, it didn't really bounce back too much. But if we go back here, we do see 3iQ added 11,125 Bitcoins to their Bitcoin ETF in its first 10 days of trading for $634 million of new fund inflows. So think about that, right? When you look at what's happening, and by the way, this was worth about $2 billion. If you think about that, imagine what a BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF would do in terms of volume in the first month. This is BlackRock, one of the largest companies out there. Now, do I think that it's bullish that BlackRock is getting in on this game and they will most likely have a lot of Bitcoin under management? It's bullish, but it's also technically bearish. I don't like these traditional players coming into this space all that much, but hey, it's most likely going to happen whether you like it or not. In the real market, if you look at it, yes, I think that's going to make a lot of those people money that are in this market at crucial times. Like for an example, I think that right now during this market and this turmoil in the market, I think that now is like the best time to be looking into this market, understanding this market, averaging into some positions, not going too heavy to where you are risking a large portion of your net worth. Remember, this market is still speculation. Until things start to be utilized on a massive scale, this market is still speculation. So there's a lot of risk tied to crypto still, but ultimately speaking, I do think that there's a lot of money to be made in this market if you are in the bear market. The bull market is not for buying. The bull market is for, averaging out of your positions at incredible highs. So if we look at this, yes, I do think that BlackRock getting in on the Bitcoin spot ETF is very bullish, because when we look at the amounts of Bitcoin that these ETFs really boast, it's very large. And this could ultimately change the trajectory around this market. Now, the big question is, are we going to see all-time highs for crypto this year? I don't know about this year, but I do think that this year has been so far bullish. Even with all of the bearish news around regulations and things like that, I still think that is bullish for the market. A lot of the negative news, I've told you guys many times in the past, like negative news to me is bullish news, because what that negative news is trying to do is shake out the weak hand, shake out everyone that is, fearful of the regulators and fearful of this news. A lot of those people are following CNBC and, the headline articles, and they're like, oh, I got to get out. Every single time that I talk to somebody and they bring up like crypto, they're always like, yeah, I got out of crypto because, the market just did a 180 and, I lost money. So I got out. And it's like, okay, well, that's totally fine. But that's exactly what needs to happen. A lot of people think that crypto is all about making money. There's a lot of people that lose a ton of money in crypto. Let it be known that it is not easy to make money in these markets. It's not as easy as most people make it out to be. This market is extremely tough to be successful in. You got to go through the hard bear market in order to come out victorious in the bull market. And the only way to do that is also taking profit. And even that, for most people, is very hard to do. They want more. They get greedy and greedy and greedy. That's why you got to separate your emotions from the game. But also over here, Financial Times story on Hong Kong regulators pressuring banks to onboard crypto companies is revealing on two fronts. The first is the obvious one. China is pivoting hard into crypto. Look at this. HSBC and Standard Chartered pressed by Hong Kong regulator to take on crypto clients. This is absolutely wild. This comes as a surprise to people who thought China banned crypto, but that's a misunderstanding of how the CCP operates. It was never about banning, but exerting control over a new industry. This is how state capitalism works. Freshly mined Bitcoin, as moved through OTC trading desks, became a bit too popular for evading capital control, so the government banned mining. But there are still anecdotal reports about a thriving crypto industry in China, including mining. Today, China is widely believed to be the number 2 in mining, with more than 20% of global hash rates. Obviously, the CCP knows about this and likes it. More importantly, they are using Hong Kong to embrace crypto in new ways, exchanges, stablecoins, etc. Why? Because they see that crypto is the future. And because America is trying to kill it, the Biden admin's bumbling crackdown is the best advertising campaign. America has a chokehold on global finance. America hates crypto. Crypto must be a disruptive threat. The rest of the world wants it. And that's exactly what it is. The more America cracks down, the stronger the incentive for everyone else to adopt it, particularly geopolitical rivals. The second part of the FT story is how big banks remain hesitant to onboard crypto even after the regulators told them they should. This is not surprising. America's chokehold on global finance is enforced via the banking system. And here you have HKMA encourage the banks to not be afraid. A person with knowledge of the discussion said there is a resistance from a conventional banking mindset. We are seeing some resistance from senior executives at traditional banks. This is why people like Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett hate crypto. Decentralization threatens their source of power and wealth. Bankers repeat the canard of crypto is used for money laundering, but that's BS. Big banks are the preferred way to wash money. Billions of dollars move through the likes of JPM and Stanchart annually. It's easier to commit crimes through banking than Bitcoin. I completely agree. And this kind of goes on talking a little bit about the traditional world of finance. It also talks about Choke Point 2.0, which we've addressed many times on this channel. But for the most part, all you need to know is that we are now seeing regulators pressuring banks to onboard crypto, and we are seeing outside of the US major push on crypto to greenlight it, which is very bullish. Now at this time, who's actually bullish around this market besides those that actually see this? Not a lot of people. In fact, Credible Crypto is one individual that has been calling for new all-time highs this year. Again, I don't know if that's going to morph into reality. I would love to see it. Don't know if it's going to happen. But we do see over here $200 million of buy pressure for Bitcoin and Ethereum coming to an exchange near you starting July 1st. What better way to ignite a rally off of a major bullish retest of our $20,000 to $25,000 zone? And here you guys have Celsius will be converting altcoins from customers with exemption of custody and withhold accounts to Bitcoin and Ethereum from July 1st onwards. July is a huge month. Let it be known that July has the FedNow service, has a lot of regulations talks with the BIS, the IMF, as well as there's one, the FSB, sorry, could not remember the name. But then also you have this. This would lead to a total sell pressure of $218.2 million for the alts and $218.2 million buy pressure for Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the perfect narrative to push Bitcoin and Ethereum higher, ultimately allowing for the Bitcoin cycle to begin. That way we can get it over with. Then it can go to Ethereum and to altcoins, just like typical alt season happens. But we don't know, right? We have to wait and see these things morph into reality before we get too bullish and we start FOMOing in and aping in. We got to be patient. We got to be patient. But I also said over on Twitter, we should all be keeping a close eye out on the money market funds as they continue to grow into the trillions of dollars. Credible Crypto has always been, is always being asked where the liquidity will come from to push this market way higher. The answer is money market funds and also swings in stocks like Nvidia, which made a new all-time high. And yes, money market funds, they're sitting at about $5.45 trillion right now. Absolutely wild. And this was just from June 15th. This was from yesterday alone. There is $5.45 trillion sitting on the sidelines just waiting to buy something. And this money has been parked here waiting for a recession to happen. And I want you guys to understand that a recession is still a few months, possibly even a year or two away. Because again, these things take time to morph into reality. 2008 is a perfect example of that. A lot of people were preparing in 2006, 2007. And guess what? It finally hit late 2007 right into 2008. Now also, money market funds, you can watch this grow. If we go back in time historically, around 2017, 2018, these were kind of pretty low in quarter 2 of 2017, and then they started to spike during quarter 3 and quarter 4 of 2017, marking pretty much the top for the 2017-2018 bull market. Again, this kind of spiked in quarter 4 of 2017, 2018, quarter 1. But then this grew drastically all the way into 2020. And then if we look quarter 3, by quarter 4 of 2020, this dropped rapidly. Right around this time, we started to see the rise of crypto. We started to see, alt season pretty much starting. And then all of a sudden, Look at, by Q4 of 2021, when the top 4 crypto was in, this spiked up, hit a topping point for money market funds, and then it dropped drastically. Here we have a topping point almost for money market funds. Once we start to see this fall, I do think that a lot of that money is going to start trickling into stocks, gold, silver, crypto. I really do think that a lot of liquidity is parked on the sidelines, just waiting to ape into something. Could it be crypto? Could it be stocks? Who knows? But I do think that this market is going to do very well over the next couple months. We'll definitely come back and wait and see what happens. But I'm very bullish on crypto right now. As everyone is getting so bearish and as everyone's focused on regulations and the negative news, I look at this as a great opportunity. Like with what the SEC has announced and what they've been doing, it's providing a great insight on opportunities within this market. They are starting to realize in, and I'm very, very happy about that. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.